All right, let's get started. Think of this as your own private coaching session. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a tool that's, well, it's one of the most advanced and, honestly, most underused weapons in any high-stakes negotiation: strategic silence.
Okay, picture this. You're at the negotiation table. The air is thick, you can feel the tension. Your opponent leans in, slides a number across to you and says, "That's our final offer. Take it or leave it." Everyone's looking at you. So, what do? What's your very next move?
Now, your gut reaction, right? It's probably to jump in, to counter their offer, to argue your point, to just fill that awkward, tense space with words. But what if I told you the single most powerful thing you can do is nothing? Absolutely nothing. Just embrace that silence. Because, and this is key, it's not a sign of weakness, it's a weapon. So, let's break this down. Why does this even work? I mean, why is silence so incredibly powerful? Well, it's not magic, it's straight up psychology. It all comes down to understanding that the human brain is basically wired to hate dead air. There's this principle, right? It's called social reciprocity. And all it really means is that we are biologically, almost physically, programmed to fill a gap in a conversation. That silence, it's not just awkward, it creates a real discomfort. It's an itch that your opponent will feel an overwhelming urge to scratch. And right there, in that moment of discomfort, that's where the entire power dynamic can flip. See, the person who caves, the one who speaks first just to break that tension, they're almost always the one who loses. They give up ground, they're basically showing their cards, their anxiety, their need to get this over with, and poof, their leverage is gone. What you're doing by staying quiet is creating something called information asymmetry. It sounds fancy, but it's simple. It's an imbalance of information. Think about it. You know exactly what you're thinking. You know your strategy, your next move, your absolute bottom line. But them, they have no clue. You're holding all the cards, and they can't see a single one. So let's get inside their head for a second. What's going on over there while you're just sitting there, silent? Well, with zero information coming from you, their brain goes into overdrive. It starts trying to fill in the blanks. And guess what it uses? Its own fears, its own insecurities. They literally start mind reading. And, in the process, they start negotiating against themselves. They'll reveal their fears and what they really want, all without you having to ask a single question. Okay, so that's the why. It makes sense, right? Now, let's get practical. Let's talk about the how. I'm going to give you 3 specific power moves to put in your tactical toolkit. But first, one really important concept. When you use silence the right way, you're demonstrating something called cognitive control. This is the big leagues. This is what separates the masters from the amateurs. It shows you're not just reacting on impulse. No, you are processing, you're being strategic, and you are totally in control of the situation. All right, first tool in the kit. Super easy to use. All you need is 3 seconds. This is the pregnant pause. So somebody hits you with a really tough question. Your instinct is to answer immediately, right? Don't. Instead, look them in the eye and take a full 3 seconds. That's it. This tiny action completely reframes everything. It signals high status. It says, "I'm not panicking, I'm processing." It projects absolute authority.
Okay, next up. We're adding just one more second. But this one is for that critical moment when an actual offer is on the table.
We call this the negotiation gap. And it is so simple, it's almost beautiful in how effective it is. Step 1, your opponent makes their offer. Step 2, you just look at them, hold that eye contact, and you stay completely silent for 4 seconds. Count it in your head. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm telling you, that tension becomes so unbearable for them that more often than not, they will break first. They'll actually start bidding against themselves, offering you a better deal before you've even opened your mouth. And now for the final tool. This one is, well, it's maybe the most surgical of them all. We call it the Truth Extractor. This is how you use silence to get someone to expose their own lie.
So, how does a liar unravel in your silence? It's fascinating. You think someone's not being straight with you. First, you let them finish their story. Don't interrupt. And when they're done, you just stay silent. You maintain eye contact. See, someone telling the truth is okay with that silence. A liar? It's torture. They feel this intense pressure to keep talking, to justify their story, to add more and more details, and that's where they trip up. They start revealing inconsistencies, and the whole story just falls apart. The lie exposes itself. You never had to call them out. Your silence did all the work.
Okay, but here's a really, really important point. This is crucial.
To use this like a pro, you have to know the difference between active silence and passive silence. What we're talking about is active silence. It's strategic. You are present. You're maintaining full eye contact. It's controlled, and it has a goal. This is the total opposite of giving someone the silent treatment. You know what I mean. That's passive-aggressive. It's about emotional withdrawal, avoiding the issue, and trying to be punitive. One is a surgeon's scalpel, precise and effective. The other is just a blunt instrument. We're here to be surgeons.
All right, so we've covered the why it works and the how to do it. So what's left? Execution. It all comes down to you having the confidence to truly own that space between the words.
And I want you to remember this quote, this idea. In any group, the person who's perceived as having the most authority isn't the loudest. It's the one who speaks the least, but with the most precision. Real power, real authority comes from that. Your silence speaks volumes. It screams confidence and control.
So I'll leave you with one final thought. The next time you walk into that high-stakes meeting, that tough negotiation, that difficult conversation, who's going to own the silence? You've got the toolkit now. Our session is over. Go use it.